All right, so I'm going to start with a opening karakia this time. I'm a bit more organised, so I have it with me, even though I know it, but you get flustered and I forget it. So, whakataka te hau ki te uru, whakataka te hau ki te tonga, kia mā kina kina ki uta, kia mā taratara ki tai, he aki ana te atakura, he tio, he huka, he hauhu, ti hei mauiora. Right, so I don't know if you all had a chance to have a look at the agenda. Did anyone have trouble opening it? That's my first question. All right, you all sent it, that's all right. Because when I went to open it, it wanted me to open it in Microsoft Office, and I thought, oh, have I sent it out as that kind of document or actually something people could open? So just had a, one of those funny moments like, uh-oh. So pleased everyone could open it. You can jump off. And I haven't got Abby helping me with my IT, so it's all on me today. So we will do some introductions. So I'm sure you know I'm Tracy Graham. And I just thought if this time, because last time we had no time to share whatsoever, I just thought this time let's start a bit that whakawhanaungatanga and getting to know each other a little bit. So what do you do in your role for ACE? Because we all do have slightly different roles of how we support ACE in our in your particular rep. So I thought if we share that, then people get to understanding what kinds of things you do. So for me, in our rep, I'm our community team leader. So that's both ACE and we have a financial mentoring contract as well. So I manage it as well. And I also coordinate ACE programs as well as coordinating the team for the ACE programs. So that's me. So I've got Pip here as well today. So Pip.
Kia ora. Ko Pip Maynard taku ingoa. I'm the ACE coordinator for the South Wairarapa here with REAP Wairarapa.
And we also have Alison.
Kia ora, Alison Woolard at REAP Wairarapa. I'm the education manager and I work with Tracy monitoring and looking at needs analysis of what courses we run, checking the data, and I've got a part to play in the whole sort of when the first idea starts to the end and completion of the course. So I have a part to play in that as well. Kia ora.
Thank you. Right, so I'm just going to go around my screen. So I'll just call you out, and then if you'd just like to introduce yourselves. So Haraina.
Kia ora everyone, my name's Hiraina Tarawa. I'm the ACE manager at Central King Country REAP in Taumarunui. So I oversee ACE programs here for our community. Our cohort is about 5,000 people. That's our surrounded areas as well. I also manage the ACE programs. I have one staff under me, which is pretty timely. We're getting a bit busy around here and it's very, very helpful. I also oversee the driver license program, which is our community program Safe to Go, and we have a contract with MSD. So I oversee both of those contracts as well. Yeah, and office stuff. When you get the call, can someone sit at reception? There I go. Let's do the dishes, vacuum the floor, all of that jazz. So yeah, that's me. Kia ora, everyone.
Kia ora, Haraina. I think that's true of all REAP people, isn't it? We just jump into whatever's
That's totally in our role as ACs.
That's a line in the job description and anything else required.
Absolutely.
Right. Kia ora, Janelle.
Kia ora, Janelle from Southern REAP down the bottom of the south. I'm based in our Gore office. Our head office is actually over in Winton, so it's about 45 minutes an hour away from us. And my role is I am the community education coordinator for this Eastern Southern region. I am the ACE manager for Southern REAP, and I'm also our driver licensing manager, so Drive My Life manager as well. So I've got 2 ACE staff members who are on this call, and then I've got about 13 driver licensing staff as well.
Oh.
Yeah, and we have that same fine line right in the bottom of your contract and any other such task.
Cool, thank you, Janelle. Okay, kia ora, Megan.
Kia ora, I'm Megs from Southern Reap down. I work underneath Janelle. So I obviously do the Winton area and we kind of spread our wings from around here. And I also help out a little bit with Drive My Life program as well. So that's me,
Lovely.
thanks.
Kia ora, Ruby.
Kia ora, I'm Ruby. I'm down in Bullareep, so in Westport. And yeah, I'm an ACE coordinator alongside, I work with Kimberly, she's the other ACE coordinator here. We both also manage MSD contracts. She does the driver licensing and I manage one where I work with unemployed young people, 18 to 25, who are on benefit. And that actually, we just got that for another year. So yeah, that keeps me busy. I also do the barista assessing and training at the high school. And yeah, just kind of get roped into helping out with lots of stuff to do with youth here at Bullareep. So yeah, I'm busy all the time.
Oh, that sounds like a fabulous program, your barista one.
Yeah, it's
that's
through
really
the high
interesting.
school they they run through one of their, I don't know who exactly it's run through, but the hospitality teacher doesn't know enough about coffee making, so I step in there and it's great. It's a great part of my
Cool.
job. I love it.
Fabulous. Thank you. All right, kia ora, Emma.
Kia ora, I'm Emma from Central Otago. We're based in Alex. I'm the ACE team leader, and I work with Heather. Well, there's quite a few, but Heather is part-time with me with a focus on Hauora. But then we have all our casual tutors all around that we support in our programs. And I've just been with one of our programs is around wellness. With mental health being the focus. I've just been at the poll with Moving Connecting this morning, and then we have our shared garden is another space that we're starting tomorrow. So my brain's going.
I bet it is.
Both very cool spaces. So we all kind of, like everyone else, run programs and work together as a team to make things happen and connect.
That
Yeah,
sounds
thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you for that. Right, kia ora, Kim.
Kia ora. I'm Kim. I work with Janelle and Megs for Southern Reap, and I'm the ACE coordinator for Queenstown. So I organise all of the ACE courses that we run here, and also look after the corrections contract that we have as well. And we run that year round, as long as all the contracts boxes have been ticked, etc. from corrections. But yeah, so that's what I do.
Oh, that's great. Thanks, Kim. Right, kia ora, Caroline.
Yeah, sorry, kia ora.
That's all right.
I'm a bit of an imposter. I'm coming in Shelley's place. Shelley's over in Canada with her son who's getting married. But I'm the education team leader, so I do work quite closely with Shelley, and she just wanted me to come on board and listen to. She looked at the agenda and thought it would be worthwhile getting someone tuning in. So
Yeah, cool.
nice to be here.
Well, lovely. Welcome. And these are all recorded as well. So if she wants to go back and read the notes or rewatch a video, for any of you, like if you can't be here, they're available. We've put them up on the ACE Aotearoa website, and after each session, I send out the links to them anyway. So they are available for you to access. Okay, so was there anything else that needed to be added to the agenda? Anything else that people were thinking, oh, I forgot to add, whatever? No, good. Okay, so the first thing was just a note from Tracy Shepherd. She apologises she can't be here. She's up in Central Plateau with Linda Moss's crew. They're doing their doing something, some kind of training or something. Should tell me, but the word's not sitting in my head, so never mind. They're together doing their thing. So she did just say that TEC priorities have changed, and she is writing a document for us to help understand what those changes mean for us. But she is adjusting the language from TE speak to REAP speak, so it actually makes sense and it's a bit more easier to digest. So keep an eye out for that. She hopes to have it out in the next couple of weeks. So there will be something coming out around that.
So Tracy, are they going to roll that out immediately, or do we get a chance to kind of get this year done and they bring it out next year?
I think they're already in place from what I can understand. Yeah, so you know how like on Report we used to click the T's priorities and there was like 8 of them that we used to click.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, I always felt they were stupid things to click because in my head they were, this is what good quality looks like for all courses. You should be doing this stuff for all courses. That always used to run through my head. Anyway, so there's 5 priorities now. And I'm not sure whether we will have to backload them for this year or not.
Okay.
Wait, watch this space. Knowing
Yeah.
TC, we'll probably have to backload for this year. But it might not be a big deal, and it might be that we all fit under, because the categories are quite, when I looked at them, there's like definitely one category we don't fit in, like it was international students, or we don't work with international students, so instantly that one's off. And when I had a quick look, there was one that I think everything ACE just fits under, which is a second priority. So I'm not sure what Tracy will send us, but she'll make it easy. And also it might be that Abby does some work in the background to backload some of that stuff back on your courses. So yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's generally, for us, it's generally ticking those tick boxes, so it's not too onerous, hopefully.
Is this the reason for the 2 case studies that were?
No.
No.
Case studies, I don't know if they've always been a thing here at our REP. I don't know if that's for all REPs, but it's certainly, like, for any contract, money is getting tighter and tighter with every government. Every time you turn around, it's getting harder and harder. So the impact stories are all about us being able to tell our story about the fabulous work we do. It's about shifting the vision away from the data and the numbers, which they tell a little bit of the story, but not really. They don't talk about impacts or the difference that the learning makes to the communities and the people's lives. And our impact stories are a chance to tell that story, because I think that those stories are where the power sits. And when we're trying to make sure that we get the money as opposed to the next guy down the road, why should they give it to us as opposed to them? Those case studies help say, give it to us. We've got proof that we do a really good job, and we know what we're talking about.
Yeah, cool.
Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, so one of the things we are going to look at today is closing off courses, because it's something we don't do particularly well. Some REPs are doing better than others, but I think when I had a quick scan, every single REP has got, well, I'm not 100% sure about that, but lots of REPs had lots of courses from term 2 that are still not closed off. There's over 30 courses sitting there that are not closed off. TEC are getting much, much tougher about their reporting. And the next reporting period from the end of term, we have literally 1 week to get all your course information, all your data into REPIT, ready to go to TEC for the following Monday, which is like I wrote it down somewhere though. I think it's the 5th or the 7th of October. It's the Monday, the 1st of the 2nd week of the school holidays. All right. The data has to be to Tracy for TEC for that week. So I don't know about what that looks like on your REPs, but on our REP, that means a lot of pressure, because most of our courses run for the whole term. So in that last week of term, in that first week, to get all your data, make sure it's all clean, make sure that all your learners have the NSN numbers, that all the ones that don't have NSNs, you've got self-declarations for them. Make sure that all learners, all their demographics are correct. Have they all got birth dates? Have they all got ethnicities? Have they all got what education qualification level are in there? So all of that information make sure it's in there for all of your learners. There should be no lines, and I can show you how to, in fact, Abby and I are working on a few, like how to run some reports to help you look to see if there is in a course data that's not matching, so that you know which course to go back to have a look and go, oh, hang on a minute, that learner's got, I don't know, 7 learners, but there's only 4 male and 3 female, let's say. And so the numbers, well, that does it up. So let's say they had 8 learners and there's 4 and 3, and so the numbers aren't matching. And then when you go back, you might find that one learner, for some reason, hasn't ended up with their gender ticked. Do you know what I mean? So it's just making sure that all of that data is really, really tight, it's really clean, and it's getting the right thing. Because what TSEG we think are going to start doing is, when you've reported to that period, it's closed off and you can't change anything prior to that. Like, we've been quite lucky. You've got this little slide, and we know you've got those courses back there that you haven't quite got around to filling in the information for, and you can go back and do it. They're going to get to the point to say, no, you've your reported date, you can't change anything back there. And so if you haven't closed off those courses, think about those 30 courses, we potentially won't be able to claim those learner hours for those 30 courses. That's quite a lot of money. That's quite a big deal for your reps. You've done all the work, but because you haven't got your data in to reap it, you're potentially not going to get that money for those courses. Okay, so it is quite a big deal.
Trace, when
Yep.
you're talking about data, that's just the student data, yeah? So like
Yes.
our reflections, our tutor sort of reflections, and all that information we can put in later.
Well, no.
Because 1 week is a really short time for getting
Correct.
evaluations from,
Correct.
some of our learners don't, they need a bit of time to reflect back on the program. Like, it's not like you get all the reflections at once.
Yeah.
And then the tutor needs to reflect on that and changes, and then that all gets put in.
Yep.
It's pretty unreasonable, isn't it? 1 week.
Yep. I'm not made the rule.
Yeah.
I'm just sharing what's going to
Yeah,
happen.
yeah.
And I don't know what. I'm not stressed, but I am stressed because we're also losing our receptionist the week before, and our Abby's away for those 2 weeks too, so that's just going to add another complication. So I'll be the backup to probably pick up some of that, and it's like, so that's why we're having this meeting, is to make sure you guys all are on the board. So there's some things that we can do to help that. Like, so at the moment, and I know I'm talking in terms, but after your course starts, so for me in the week 3, after my course has started, go back and check that all your learners have enrolled. Have you got all the, do your attendance lists match the enrollments you've got? Because sometimes I know what happens. Sometimes someone turns up week 2 or something like that, arrive late, they don't end up filling in the enrollment forms or that sort of stuff, and so that stuff gets missed. So have a check now. Have they got all their stuff? Go through them. Have they got all the demographics, or do you need to get on the phone and say, hey, we're missing your birth date, or we're missing your ethnicity, or whatever it is? Do the NSN checks. Is there some missing? Do you need to get a self-declaration form back out to those learners while the course is still running? Because that's actually a really good time. While the course is still running, you've got time, to be able to contact that student and say, hey, we're just, enrolling you on this course. We noticed we're missing this information. Please, can we get it from you? Does that kind of make sense? Yeah. So one of the things that I've found that has helped, and different things will work for different reps, and you've got different systems. But I was talking to Abby about this the other day, and she said share that because it might be helpful for other reps, and you guys might be all aces and have your own, perfect systems. But I've got a couple of little checklists that I've set up, and they will obviously be different to your reps as to who does what. Actually, I'm going to share a screen because that might be a little bit easier. Yep, allow that. I'm going to share the screen. Okay, so I've got 2. I've got this checklist here, and this is the one that I give to my coordinators, because I do have coordinators who do stuff, and we have the reception that does do some of the tasks, and then they come back to us. So you can see here, I'm just making sure that all these things happen, because at our REIT, we have about 40 courses a term. So this is not a small amount of information we're processing through. It's a lot. So I've made sure that, they've had a conversation with the tutor and got the documentation back. They've collected, like if they've had resource boxes and things like that, they've come back. We've checked that the tutor have signed their tutor returns, and that information's come back with invoices to Karen's our finance person. We've uploaded photos, so we have a storage system called SmugMug where we store them. The coordinator makes sure they update all of these things, so that's your rationale for variance, your narrative, have they gained a qualification like your licensing if you do that under ACE. And our ACE reception or ACE admin person does this, but coordinators might do this too. So check all the enrolments have been entered. You've got all the learner demographics are there. Your attendance hours are added. Change your learning from pending to completed. So I know this sounds very simplified, it's line by line, and some of you might have this off rote and it's really easy to go through, but when you're pumping through lots, and you might be waiting on evaluations forms for one course, and you're waiting on a signed self-declaration for another course, it's very easy to lose track of where you are with all the different courses. So this is what we made up for all our coordinators. We just stick this on the front of our pack, and then they can just tick off who's done whatever that they're doing. So any comments about that at that stage? Did anyone know that information before I shared it with you about the 1 week turnaround?
Yeah, I know that Tracy shared a document a couple of years ago. Forgot what it was called, but I've taken small snippets from that to do, like, have you got your photos, enrolment pack is in here, please tick off, all of that kind of stuff, and getting my tutors to sign at the bottom as well. I'm not always getting it out on time. I'm not always receiving docs back on time, things like that. Oh, question. So say if someone's got the enrolment forms, they've completed them, don't really have fully completed their information. So say they haven't really ticked off what education level that they're at.
Yep.
You just leave it blank?
No.
What do we do?
And REIT was designed so that you can't leave it blank, because for that information to go to TEC, there can't be any blanks. So that will be one of the starred fields, and that's why they're starred, so that you can't not enter them. Generally, they have a phone number. Get on the phone and give them a call and say, hey, I'm just entering your data. You've missed out this. What we've had to do is train our tutors so that if anyone turns up during, before most people now, we've puppy trained our people to enroll before the course starts, but that's not always possible. We know that. So we've trained our tutors on how important it is to get that information in correctly. One of the things we might do nowadays is, so week 3, I've just emailed all my tutors to send me the attendance rolls. I'll be checking them. If I see stuff missing, I will send it back to them and highlight. So if it's a date of birth that's missing or a qual level, I will send it back to them and say, hey, please, could you just fill this in? But generally we just get on the phone and call the learner. Sometimes if they're previous learners, once you get nice clean data, you've always got clean data. That's a good thing about taking the time to get it, because once you've got it, going forwards all the time. But yeah, you really do need to make sure that you've got all that information. So one of the other things that for me, my sticking point, a little bit like Emma's too, is getting the evaluations back from learners. So one thing we don't do is we don't give evaluations for learners to take away. I will never see the evaluation again. I guarantee it. Never get them back. So what we actually do is we get the tutors to give them out in the second to last week. And then they can either fill them in there or bring them back on the last week. And what that does is, because often people don't turn up to the last session for a variety of reasons, and so then you end up missing those people, not getting evaluations. By starting them at the second to last week and then catching them in the last week, we tend to get a much better return rate. And we've probably got about an 80% return rate since we've started doing that, as opposed to about, 20 or something like that. It was pretty dismal before we started doing that. The other thing is one of our coordinators will visit all of our courses at least once during the term, or one session of their delivery, and we have a conversation with the learners about how important filling that information in is, and how if we don't have that information collated, we can't keep running the courses because we don't get funded. And once they realise that them filling that stuff in is related to the course keep running, they're pretty keen to fill them in after that. Yeah. Especially when money's tight these days, people know how good opportunities are, and they're keen to do what they can to keep those opportunities happening. Any more comments or thoughts?
I was just going to say, for the reporting, Tracy, she sent out a reporting calendar the other day to the managers. So if you haven't got it, it does have all of the departments on it, but you can pick out yours. So if you haven't got it, hit up your manager.
Yeah. and that is the date, hey? It's like is it the 5th of August or something?
5th of October.
Yeah, October, I mean.
October.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you, Tracy.
Yeah, I've already got it.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I can add that list of dates, I'll pop that into the documents, and then you've all got those dates as well, so you know what you're heading for. But just remember, that's the date that it goes to Tracy. So you actually need to have your stuff. You need to have your system sorted out so that you're getting that stuff earlier on, and you're not kind of waiting to the last minute and then going, oh shoot, I still don't have I'm waiting for a self-declaration for that learner and that for the other learner. So you know what I mean? So trying to get on that stuff earlier helps you get that information back quicker. And most of that stuff, once you've got it, you've got it, so there's a bit of work initially, making sure you've got all that stuff done well for the learners. And then once you've got that learner information, that keeps going, and then it just becomes like getting the attendance roles stuff back quickly, and making sure that you're getting the evaluations back. Does that make sense? Yeah. You all look like I do. And we're like, moment. And because none of that is about good delivery, this is what I mean, it kind of is. I mean, having evaluations and being able to have your attendance data back early, so you can look at the patterns and trends, and we've had a big drop off, or I was watching for after the fuel rates went up, and we had a bit of a drop off with fuel prices because people couldn't get to courses. So reading that information early means you can help start to see what some of those patterns are. You might be able to use it to do something differently. Yeah. Okay, so something that sits alongside that also in REPIT, Tracy Shepherd has asked to make sure that any programs that you are thinking of running between now and the end of the year, please can you put them into REPIT as planned. Doesn't matter if you don't end up running them, but it's TC will be asking at that same time of reporting, show us that you have the delivery plan till the end of the year, or we'll take the money away. And they threatened that last year as well. So make sure that any programs you've got planned for the rest of the year are definitely in REPIT. Just have a guess at the hours and those sorts of things, and you can tidy them up close to the time. Sometimes you don't end up running them. You think, we're going to run a digital course for us in Martinborough and Featherston, and then you find out that actually the tutor's away for term 3, so we're not running it at all, so we'll cancel that one. So, things like that happen, but then at least you can put a reason why it happened, and that shows that you're really thinking about it, you're being really intentional about your delivery, and you can show the reasoning why you didn't end up running whatever it was that you're running. It also means that for your future planning, and you can go, actually, we've tried 3 times to run a digital course, say in Featherston, and it actually didn't run every time it got cancelled. Were they genuine reasons, or actually is there just not a demand? We're trying to run something that isn't needed in that community. Okay, so that being able to read what you cancelled paints a bit of a picture itself to help with your planning. Does that make sense? So do you all know how to put your programs in as planned, I'm assuming? No? Yeah. And once they're running, change it from planned to approved, okay? So that you can see that program's definitely going ahead. So that when Tracy Shepherd's running those reports, so if she sees that they're approved, she can go, there's a high chance that there's going to be some hours coming back from those programs. So she's getting much better read of where we're sitting with the number of hours. And that also helps sometimes, like if it looks like we're going to over deliver. Wasn't last year, but the year before we had the opportunity to gain some extra ACE learner hours, and she said, yep, we can have these extra ACE learner hours because we've got the ability to deliver to it. Okay, so it also tells that story too. If it looks like we're going to go over, there might be the opportunity to pick up some extra money to deliver those. All right, any questions? You need to say something. Okay, now you have a chance to say something. We didn't really cover this from last time, and I know Atameda is not here this time, but she was wondering about us doing something jointly from Festival of Adult Learning. So I thought maybe first, if we just do a whip round in one, are you planning to do something for Festival of Adult Learning Week this year? And if so, what? And also sitting on that, would you like to do something joint for Festival of Adult Learning? And I think it's probably possibly too late for this year, but maybe, if people are keen, is that something we look at to do something collectively for next year? So we'll just go in the same order that I did before. So Haraina, would you like to just start with what you're, are you doing something this year? What might that be?
Yeah, we're a little bit crunched this year for Adult Learner Week, to be honest with you. I'm away that time as well, so I'm just getting together some of my crew. We're really just going to be rolling through with what we've got going anyway, so our usual term activities that will just roll through. If I can get just pocket-size workshops going, then I will. So I've already started to ask out locally to some of our tutors whether or not they have time, space. They're not really getting back to me, but that's all right. So it should be a massive focus for me, but it's not at the minute. But
absolutely.
I do like what you were saying about Atameda's kōrero around maybe doing collab again. Probably next year would be great. I'd love to do something with everyone in terms of our reps all coming together to do something fantastic and whatever for Adult Learner Week. I just think for me anyway, or us, it's a little bit crunchy considering we're 3.5, 4 weeks away now.
Yep. Perfect. Thanks, Haraina. Right, Janelle, how about you guys?
I would say the same. Our house is a bit full at the moment as well. September's always a funny time for us as well because we have lambing and calving, so everything sort of just goes like that. I mean, if something was created and it was across the board nationwide, amazing. Somebody else would do it. I'm always kidding.
No, that's cool. Right, and Megan, apologies. Do you mind if I jump you? Because I think Janelle's just answered for you. So Ruby?
Yeah, we don't have anything planned again. I think I had a couple of hui's with Marie Thomas, who's ACE down at West Reap, and we kind of had a couple of ideas floating, but we just had a chat last week and we're both just a bit too busy at the moment and trying to organise something. We were, we had these big ideas of organising something like West Coast wide, but time's just come around way too quick. So nothing set in stone there.
No, that's cool. How about you, Emma? Oh, sorry, Emma, your sound's muted.
I always say the best stuff when I'm muted. We're just doing AI, keeping it like it's all about your voice, right? So keeping it human, just leading on from the workshops with the ACE. So we're just going to be doing that as our way of people keeping their voice and around all our areas. So keeping it simple. Last year we were a little bit more elaborate, but this year just nice and simple, the same workshop, just going and connecting around with everyone.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. That sounds good. All right. Kim, are you okay if I jump over you too? Because I think Janelle covered yours. Yep. Carolyn.
We're not going to do anything huge, but we are going to do a bit of a road trip around to our more isolated areas that seem to have fallen off a bit, and just
Yep.
kind of catch up and chat what's on top, you know, what we do, what do the communities want,
Cool.
and kind of get some voice really, but around adult education, and just, yeah, usually celebrate our tutors in some way. Do a campaign communication type thing on Facebook where we celebrate what they're doing. We don't have hundreds of tutors, so it's quite easy.
Yeah, that's cool. And from us, we had amazing plans.
We did. We did.
I don't know if we're going to run anything at this moment. I've got down 2.5 staff. It's like, oh my goodness, things are falling apart every which way I turn. So we're going back to the drawing board. I don't know what it's going to be, but it might be something just very simple, like a Facebook campaign, like we've done some other years when things got a bit tough like this too. I think you guys will reflect what we find too. Life's really tough at the moment. It's really busy. There's lots happening. Our community keeps getting impacted by weather events every time we turn around. So it's, you know, things are really tough at the minute. So not that we shouldn't be doing something, but what we do, we might have to think about. But I really like that AI idea, because I think actually maybe a couple of little AI workshops might be a go actually.
Yeah, for the
We'll share what we're doing with you.
Yeah, that'd be great, because I think
Send that.
in my head that's doable. Whereas what we were going to have this amazing big awards evening and not happening. So when you've only got like a couple of staff left to, you know. One day we'll get back to an amazing big awards evening, but it's not this year. Yeah.
If they all leave, I might win. No.
Okay, right. Is there anything else people want to discuss? Because that's kind of the end of my agenda. Or topics for next time, like what's on top for people? What's the things that you're challenged by or excited by? New things happening? Nothing.
I'll ask Shelley and I'll get back to you. She'll probably have some things she would like to discuss.
Cool. Because remember, these groups are for you guys, so you know I'm just dreaming stuff up here. I mean, this stuff I asked Abby and Tracy, and they said, well, actually these are things on top that's going to be on top for everyone. They might not realize that. Was like, great, that's something we can work on. But you know, and I don't want this just to be a me talking to your session every time. Like, you know, it'd be nice if it's shared around and people can share what they really want to hear, or you know, maybe we have a each time someone shares like a bit of a case study. Do we share the case studies here?
Can I have something? I'm just wondering. I've got a question for everybody. So when we're having, you know, and I'm looking at where everyone's from. When we've all had these weather events that have been happening, have you found that there's been a spin-off from within your community of maybe courses that they'd like to see for resilience or anything like that perhaps we could share here? Because when it's affecting all of them, that includes all of our learners. So I'm just wondering if maybe if there's something that we're seeing that. So for example, I was talking to someone with rural support, and we might, you know, it would be really good to perhaps get someone to who might be able to do a workshop or something about kaora. So getting all of our rural, you know, our people who have been impacted and are more isolated, make sure that they've got the app for, so that way if they're needing medical help, they can get in contact. And so, you know, and that could be a workshop or you know, just run for the day. So just wondering if there's anything that any of you have heard about.
Yeah, we in Taumarunui, so in the beginning of the year, we had a little bit of a environmental mishap. Oh, we've had one recently, actually, that was scary. But earlier on in the year, one of our smaller rural communities was affected by a flood. So we had some whānau who were woken up in the middle of the night and water were just in their whare. They had to grab their babies, chuck them on their shoulders and stuff like that. So it was a really scary time. From that kaupapa, or from that event, we decided that we would run some resilient or emergency planning, whānau resilient workshops, which is still rolling out. So, and they've been really, really helpful for whānau. So water storage, evacuation pack 101s, like that's just your pack that it's ready to go. You've got all your stuff. You need to get out of there or get out of your house, grab your bag and off you go. So some of the whānaus that were affected, there were about 7 homes that were affected, or 7 whānau actually, and they had to spend a couple of nights, about 3 nights in the community hall. No clothes, no nothing. They just ran out with whatever they had on. Jammies, they had jammies and stuff like that, but other than that, everything else was wiped out. So we decided to run these, I know, after the fact, but it was still great kind of information that was given out to whānau, the wider and extended whānau.
Yeah.
And we also got together with MSD and insurance companies to ensure that whānau had knew what to do, like getting all their items, their household items or contents listed, so the insurance company would go, okay, great, you've got this sorted. Making sure that their government documents were all safe, covered, everything like that. So yes, we're rolling those out, but we're also re-rolling some of them out, because we had a scary earthquake a couple of weeks ago. It was scary, but so we're re-rolling those out as well. I mean, which was probably a call out from some of the whānau across Facebook that was saying, hey, look, are you guys doing that evac pack workshop again?
Yes.
Or the water storage stuff? Can we do that again? We'll come this time.
Yes, that's always the
You
way.
were registered, but you didn't show up. And they're like, yeah, but it's just good stuff to kind of roll out, highlighting things that happen in your community and just getting your whānau together in terms of resilience. And later on in the year, we'll be doing some whānau resilient packs and stuff like that. So that's what we're doing. After all these events have been popping up, just highlights to everybody. Holy shit, we need to be prepared, So this is off track, but we are also rolling out some wills and EPOA information workshops. There's been a few whānau who have just come through and have been like, don't have a will, was told I should get a will, all of that stuff. So we're rolling out a series of those as well. And I wanted to get back to you about you said Kaiora, so is that the online medical assessment stuff or booking thing? Yeah, we have one similar here in the Waikato Wanganui region. Sorry, I forgot what it's called, but only works if your medical hubs or centres have registered or have uploaded the data of their patients. So we done all these cool as workshops and got people to sign up, register, only to find out that our medical centres hadn't quite registered or uploaded patients' data yet. So that was good actually, because then they found out, and so they're starting to upload data now. But we'll probably need to do that again. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, that's really cool, because same here.
Yeah.
But we check because
they pump out all this information, but then you do it, but they're not ready and they don't have any info about or online data for their patients. So
yeah, so I was lucky the person who I work with from Rural Support Trust, she was aware of that, and so I think maybe Carterton hadn't registered yet, but the others had, but Carterton's kind of like that one space that hasn't. So yeah, it's working around that at the moment. So
cool.
So that's a great idea, Tracy, what these guys have just shared. I think it's really cool to share some of the stuff we're doing. Like, we've done wills and life planning and all sorts of things, courses, but you hear someone else talking about it and go, oh, we could tweak that. Or just to give you ideas, or even to say, you're actually on the right track with the kinds of things you're doing, especially for newer ACE people.
Yeah.
I think sharing a bit is actually a really good idea. You've given
Cool.
me some ideas, Harona. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah. All right. So I might plan for each session, and we might have 1 or 2 reps share one course, or something that they're doing in their rep, and that way we'll get round all of us sharing some different things that are happening. And I'll try and allow a bit of time just like this, where we can just have some general open discussion. Does that sound all right?
Yep.
Awesome. Is there anything else people want to say? No. All right. So our next meeting is going to be the 22nd of October, still Thursdays 2 to 3. I think that's suiting most people, eh? It's
We'll
like
be nice and
anything.
relaxed, Trace. We'll be nice and relaxed.
Yeah.
22nd of October.
That's right, because all our data will be in the Thames. So we don't have to
Yeah.
worry about it. We'll be cruising. That's right. I love your positivity, Emma. That's right. And I guess while there is a pressure on, that is the advantage of doing it each term like that, is you're not having to go back and do a whole year's worth of data at the end of the year. So come the end of the year, we're going to be the craziest teams, because we can just go on holiday and go, sweet, we don't have to come back to a whole heap of data. Actually, for our own mental well-being, it's probably not a bad idea to have everything finished off each term and know it's done, and you're not having to think, oh, I still have to get this and I still have to get that, and gives a bit of finality to each term, even though it causes a bit of stress at the same time. All right. So I've got a closing karakia whakamutanga here, so I'll just read that out for you guys. Ina whānau, ina hoa, kua mutu tā tātou kōrero mō tēnei wā, tukuna ngā whakaro ho kia mau ki tō manawa, kia kawea hoki, hei ara mō apopo, haumea huia taike.
Yeah.
And apologies if I got any of those words wrong. I haven't read that one before. So.
Doing so
But
well.
it says, I'll just say in English, it says, family and friends, our discussion is complete for now. Let these new ideas settle in your heart and carry them forwards as a pathway for tomorrow. And I just thought, what a lovely little ending. I thought that's quite nice.
It is. It was a beautiful one.
Yeah. And so that is on the notes as well. So if you want to use it for something, you can grab it. All righty.
Thank you,
Thank you, Tracy.
That's all good. And I will send the notes out in the next day or so.
Cool.
Oh,
Thank you,
thanks.
Trace. Happy
Lovely.
everyone.
All good.
Thanks,
Thank
team.
you. All good.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you.